commissioned a study and a report on the rate of insecurity in most of our towns in Kenya. Some of those who commissioned the study are people who intend to invest in our country. The reason why they were doing that is they wanted to collect data to understand whether we are degenerating to a very insecure environment that will not be conducive for investment. I have seen that report, and it doesn't look good for the country because it basically confirms what we all know, that the rate of crime is going through the roof and it is at an unprecedented level. Most of it done and never followed comprehensively, because you see, how is it? Just ask yourself a very basic question. All Saints Cathedral is in the capital city of our country. How can people beat up thugs, criminals, beat up people even into All Saints Cathedral in the capital city of our country? How can that happen? I don't understand whether our leaders have a sense of shame.
No,
it is very humiliating for our country to see those kinds of things we are seeing. Because we can have political differences will not end, even after the elections next year. We are a democracy. We will always argue. We will always have differences of opinion. But we should manage ourselves responsibly. That is not the way to manage a country. Now we are scaring investors. We are scaring people who like to put resources in our country. How on earth are we going to generate employment if we don't manage these things? And you cannot tell me, I have been a minister of security, you cannot tell me that the elaborate security infrastructure we have in the country does not know what is going on. Somebody is looking there, and how do you hope to attract investors and people to come and put resources in your country, visitors, and so on? And what crime have they done? Just to discuss a bill which is before Parliament that is going to their elected representatives. I mean, even if you have serious problems with comprehension, don't you see we have a problem? And that's why we are saying that I want us to go over these things very slowly. Our leaders need to understand they're getting us to a point where we don't want to go to, and no Kenyan wants to go there. And there is no amount of political difference that will justify that kind of behavior. I mean, so what? You will have your own view, I'll have my own view, we are in different parties, and you are Kenyan, and you have a right to disagree. So these are the issues that we have, and this insecurity has to be addressed. If it's not addressed, I've said this before, and mark my words, most of these leaders here, Kinakioni and the others, are experienced politicians. The countries that have gone down the dogs have started like this. I was in Kisii last week. The kind of madness going on there is shocking. Elected leaders, an elected leader like an MCA, elected, is attacked by thugs in broad daylight. 7 days later, when I went to see him in Osto, the county police commander had not been there. 7 days later, and all that is happening at the county headquarters. What would the county commander be doing better than going to see that guy who has been attacked, who is in Osto, and looking for those thugs? In a small place like that, do you want to actually tell me that our police service with its capacity cannot root out this? Ask me, I was the minister before. This is nothing. I mean, we have a very elaborate security infrastructure in the country, from Nyumba Kumi, assistant chiefs, all the way sub-county security committees, county security committees, regional security committees. We have sufficient capacity to deal with this. The fact that it's not being dealt with is deliberate.
Since 2024, all the budgets, including the finance bills that have been done in this country, have been punitive to Kenyans. The one that was it's now on the table in Parliament is no different. The fact that Kenyans are not demonstrated does not mean that they have accepted the budget. It is a demonstration that they have given up on this government. Wao wanagojea siku ya uchaguzi wapeleke watu nyumbani. They made up their minds. It is upon us in the opposition to organize ourselves so that we do not let them down. But there is nothing to celebrate in the finance bill, in the budget that is before Parliament. You know, we were told back in 2022, ya kwamba sisi tumefanya makosa, we elected watu wa wash, na we also elected goons. Ile bunge iko na chiefs wa goons. So when you start complaining about goons, now some goons are already members of Parliament, it's a very dangerous life that we are having as a country. And for us to get ourselves out of that mess, we need to be very careful as to how we vote come 2027. It is a very embarrassing thing Countries like even Ethiopia is suffering because of the issues of goons. But all said and done, we have to deal with the issues. We have to deal with the issues of leadership on the floor and outside for us to be able to deal with the issues of goons. Suffering for as long as he understands that shida ya Kenya hata isuruhisha akiwa kwa ndege.